The top stories for the hour. Commissioner says Africa needs to produce 45% agri-food by 2030. And Ethiopia and Pakistan deepen economic ties amid growing global interest in Africa. Hello and welcome to TVC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. Esmi Magralai Sigus today's update. To stay with us. Ethiopia's Council of Ministers has begun its macroeconomic performance evaluation for the first 100 days of the 2025-26 fiscal year 2018 Ethiopian calendar, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced on Tuesday. In a statement shared on his social media platform, the Prime Minister said the evaluation commenced with a field visit to the Koisha hydroelectric power project in the southwest Ethiopian People's Regional State. Reflecting on the progress made at the project site, Prime Minister Abiy noted that since my last review, the project has shown remarkable progress, now standing 128 meters high and reaching 70% completion of civil works. He underscored that the milestone demonstrates Ethiopia's sustained commitment to achieving energy security and advancing its national development goals. And a noteworthy that the Koisha hydroelectric power project, located about 560 kilometers from Addis Ababa on the Omo River, is the southwest Ethiopian People's Region, is Ethiopia's second largest hydroelectric facility after the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Good. Ethiopia is embarking on a bold four-pillar strategy to overhaul its healthcare system, Finance Minister Ahmed Shide announced during a high-level roundtable at the World Bank Group and International Monetary Fund annual meeting in Washington, D.C. And the initiative aims to address mounting financial pressure exacerbated by global economic disruption and dwindling external support. Finance Minister Ahmed Shide unveiled Ethiopia's ambition plan to revamp its healthcare system at the World Bank IMF roundtable. The roundtable focused on global healthcare access. Shide outlined a four-pillar strategy. This includes expanding community-based health insurance, becoming a regional health security leader, improving spending efficiency by 20%, and boosting private sector engagement. The minister acknowledged Ethiopia's progress in primary healthcare but noted pressure from global disruption. He emphasized Ethiopia's growing pharmaceutical sector and FCFTA's export potential. African Union ministers are meeting this week to launch a new agricultural agenda aimed at boosting food security and reducing reliance on costly imports. Moses Vitolki, Commissioner of Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustained Environment, addressed delegates at the opening of the 6th ordinary session of the Specialized Technical Committee in Addis Ababa. Vitolki emphasized that the meeting marks a pivotal transition from Malabo's CAADP agenda to Kampala CAADP agenda themed building resilience and sustainable agro-food system in Africa. Kasan Chane for the details.
The 6th ordinary session of the Specialized Technical Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Water and Environment is taking place in Addis Ababa from October 21st, 24th and 25th at the African Union headquarters. The gathering marks a crucial transition as the Malabo CAADP agenda 2014-2025 concludes and a Kampala CAADP agenda 2026-2035 prepares to take its place. farmers. During the occasion, in his remarks, Moses Bilakati, Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustainable Environment at the African Union, emphasized the urgency of the situation.
This session comes at a pivotal moment as we transition from the Malabo CAADP Agenda 2014 to 2025 to the Kampala CAADP Agenda 2026 to 2035, which our heads of state and government endorsed this year in January under the theme Building Resilient and Sustainable Agri-Food Systems in Africa. This new phase represents a renewed commitment by member states to strengthen Africa's capacity to achieve inclusive agri-food systems transformation, to also ensure Africa is food secured and promote climate resilience and sustainability across the continent of Africa. Africa is challenged during this phase to have 45% of its agri-food produced from within Africa by 2030, which is a mammoth task, but a task that is urgent.
The goal is to consider ongoing programs, approve new projects, harmonize programs, and set on AU position for the 2026 summit.
In collaborating with the government of Ethiopia, we recently convened the second Africa Climate Summit that brought together over 25,000 delegates, including heads of state and government, civil society, and youth leaders, under the theme Accelerating Global Climate Solutions and Financing for Africa's Resilient and Green Development. The key outcome from the summit was the adoption of the African Leaders Addis Ababa Declaration on Climate Change and a call to action, which firmly positioned Africa as a global leader in advancing climate solutions and as a unified voice in shaping the global climate and development agenda.
The AUC also detailed the session's objective of identifying program harmonization in light of existing resource challenges.
While the STC comes at a pivotal moment, it also comes at a defining moment. Africa continues to face food security challenges despite its abundant natural resources. Millions of Africans remain food insecure, while the continent spends between USD 50 and 100 billion annually on food imports. Persistent structural constraints, also such as degraded soils, limited access to quality seeds and fertilizers, underdeveloped aquaculture, and inadequate economic opportunities for youth and women continue to pose serious challenges to the resilience and sustainability of our food systems. Also, there's the triple effects of climate change, biodiversity losses, as well as land degradation, which is affecting Africa as a whole.
Vilakati urged delegates to tackle these challenges with urgent action. Participants reviewed ongoing programs linked to past decisions and also focus on approving new programs and projects.
Ambassador Dawano Kadir, Director General for Middle Eastern, Asia and Pacific Affairs at the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, held a strengthening partnership between Ethiopia and Pakistan as a reflection of a new level of economic cooperation. Echoing this statement, Ambassador Hamid Ashgar, Director General of Asia Oceania at Pakistan Minister of Foreign Affairs, emphasized Africa's rising significance in global trade, citing its abundant resource and dynamic youthful population as key drivers of future growth. Jerusalem Bazaha reports.
The 5th Pakistan-Africa Trade Development Conference and Made in Pakistan Single Country Exhibition held in Addis Ababa last week. More than 100 Pakistani companies from various sectors, including pharmaceuticals, textiles, surgical equipment, IT service, home appliances, and light manufacturing, showcased their products at the Ethiopian Skylight Trade Center. On the joint press briefing, Ambassador Dewan Okedar, Director General for Middle Eastern, Asian and Pacific Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on his part said the growing partnership between Ethiopia and Pakistan demonstrated a new level of economic cooperation.
This shows the strong tie we have with Pakistan. Something excellent that have been done by both governments is the opening of embassy in both countries. That brings our relationship to the high level. The opening of Pakistan embassy here, the opening of Ethiopian embassy in Pakistan, that was decisive, and that was decided by our political leaders, and that was an excellent decision, and because of that, really excellent job have been done, and this kind of connection have been established. And I can say the relationship between Pakistan and Ethiopia is now cemented in a very strong bondage.
Director General for Asia and Oceania at Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Hamid Asghar, underscored the growing importance of Africa in global trade, highlighting its vast resource and useful population.
Africa, I would say, is a hidden jewel. So you already have a lot of diamonds in your minds. So you need to take out this diamond and really work a little on it, and the world will know about it. It's a resource-rich continent, which is self-sufficient in everything.
Ethiopian ambassador to Pakistan, Jamal Becker, on his part, described the moment as special and historic, recalling Ethiopia's decision to open its embassy in Islamabad in 2022.
We opened our embassy in 2022 under Ethiopia's reformist government, broadening and strengthening global outreach through regional integrations and outreach to the global community.
Pakistani ambassador to Ethiopia, Atif Sharif, emphasized Ethiopia's strategic importance as a gateway for Pakistani business seeking to expand into Africa's diverse and emerging markets.
Ethiopia is a very dynamic economy. There are a lot of reforms that have been undertaken. There are a lot of resources. The arable land is there, the mineral resources are there, the young population is there, and whatever Pakistan has, Africa is there is a lot of complementarity between us and Africa, and the road forward is not only to focus on exports but also focus on small projects where we can bring Pakistani technology and know-how and do some joint ventures with African businessmen, Ethiopian businessmen.
Both nations reaffirmed their commitment to expanding investment, trade and cultural exchange.
That's all we had for today's update, but before we go, let's have a recap of the top stories once again. Commissioner says Africa needs to produce 45% agri-food by 2030. And Ethiopia and Pakistan deepen economic ties amid a growing global interest in Africa. Thank you for tuning in to TBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. It was me, Makrela. See you in today's update. Goodbye.